Hello boys and girls, welcome to my video. I am your host, the J-Man. And as Halloween is approaching, I'm going to be doing more and more videos about horror, gothic, scary stuff. So tonight's special feature, it's going to be my detailed review of Paranormal Activity 2, a film that was released on October 22nd at midnight. I saw this movie yesterday, so I have a lot to say. There's a lot of things swimming around in my head about this. So first of all, if you haven't seen the movie yet, you probably shouldn't watch this video because it will contain spoilers. And I'm not just talking about, oh, the house is haunted. You already know the house is haunted. You saw the previews. The name alone explains that it's going to be haunted. These spoilers that I'm about to divulge are pretty in-depth, so stay away from this. If you want to just see my review, I have another video that I posted without any spoilers, so go ahead and watch that one instead. Okay, but for everybody who's seen the movie and on board for this video, here we go. I'm going to be talking about some of the specific scenes and details from the film, some scenes that I had problems with, scenes that I didn't like, and I'm confused about. Maybe you guys can shed some light on it. I'm looking forward to hearing your theories. So, without further ado, let's get started. Okay, first topic is the characters. All the characters in the movie. I'll talk about them briefly. You've already seen this movie, so I'm not going to tell you who's who. You should already know that. Okay, where do I start? Let's just go straight into the scenes. Okay, the beginning of the movie was very boring. There wasn't much happening. I mean, we kept seeing the pool cleaner come out. That's just kind of silly. Why does that even make a difference? I mean, something's pulling the pool cleaner out of the pool every night. Yeah, that's not scary. The pans in the kitchen, dangling. Some fall down. Why did they fall down? It's Paranormal Activity. Okay, that's kind of weird, but not really scary. Okay, so a lot of things like that are kind of happening. Nothing major yet, but you know, very slowly we're starting to build. You definitely tell there's something in the house, and by something we mean the spirit. In contrast to the first movie, this family did not contact anyone in terms of dealing with the situation. In the first movie, they contacted a demonologist or whatever, some paranormal expert. Even though they didn't go through with having the house examined or whatever, they still brought someone in at least. This family is completely irresponsible. Yeah. I think everyone is kind of ignoring these things that happen. I mean, mostly it's just the daughter seeing it. You know, they have these security cams installed all over the house. Obviously, they're there for a reason. The family wanted the security cams, or at least the father did. Are they not checking them? And if they're checking them, are they not seeing this weird stuff? I mean, how many times can a door slam shut before you stop saying it was the wind? It was the wind for the 100th time in a row? No, it's not. The dad is just a total skeptic. He's almost like a buzzkill. The daughter is probably the most intuitive out of all of them. I mean, she's the only one who really believes that something's going on. Now, in comparison to the first movie again, what was I going to say? There's a lot of tension between the couple, the man and the woman from the first movie. Their relationship starts out really good. when the guy gets more and more enthusiastic about this and sort of taunting this demon, sort of, that's when she has a problem with it, and it drives a wedge between the relationship, and then it just builds and builds and gets out of control and more emotional. And that was really a key point to the original movie, the original film. This one doesn't have that, and I think that's a major problem. The interaction between the characters just isn't as good as in the previous. The original one is more focused, and I like the way it flowed better. This one is kind of random. Alright, okay, having said that, I want to get to a scene that I had problems with. This scene where the baby's laying in the crib, and the baby just starts sliding across, and then it cuts to some other part of the house, and back to the crib, and the baby's like this way, going up the side of the crib, coming out of it. Obviously the demon, or whatever it is pulling the child out. And then it cuts again to another part of the house, and then the baby's suddenly standing on its feet. What? Wait a minute. If the demon wanted to take the child, why would it put the child back on its feet? Okay. So anyway, that happens. The baby's walking around. It walks outside the room, the top of the stairs. Is it following the demon somehow? For some reason, it's being lured. Okay? And I swear I heard the baby music, like children's music playing. Like the kind of music you would hear from the mobile in the crib. But was the demon relaying this music somehow? I guess so. So basically, my whole theory is that the demon was luring the child, trying to get the child into the basement. Because if it wanted to, couldn't it just pick up the child and take it? But that didn't happen. So I thought it was luring the child into the basement, because we saw the basement door open. But apparently the child didn't go in, and somehow the child went back upstairs on its own. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense to me. Like, why did the demon do that? What was going on? No clue. Alright, next scene I want to talk about. After Christy gets attacked by the demon, she gets pulled, dragged down the stairs into the basement. The next day, she's really weird. She's got that scratch on her leg. The dad comes home, sees it, or not sees. He doesn't see the scratch. Sees her. He notices she's acting really weird. Doesn't see the scratch somehow. Decides to just go to work or whatever. He has some business to attend to instead of the urgency of his wife being completely disoriented. Although you would think that he would consider that a priority and want to do something about it, like call the psychiatric ward. There are people that deal with that. But okay, for the sake of the movie, he leaves it alone. Like, I hate that. Like, everybody has to ignore all this stuff that's going on. Well, not ignore it, but the wife tries to ignore it, thinking it'll go away, which is what they tried to do in the first movie, and it ended up getting worse. Really, they should have just got the hell out of that house. But anyway, people in horror movies are dumb, so you can't complain about that. They're just dumb. So, yeah. She starts acting really weird. Obviously, she's possessed by this thing. Let's hurry up. Let's get to the part where she ends up in the basement. Alright. First of all, she bites the father. She bites him on the neck. I'm pretty sure that happened. I mean, it cut right before you see contact, but her face was right there at his neck. Very shocking, very, very scary moment in the movie. So, did he somehow recover from that instantly? I don't know. It didn't show, but he's back, and he tells his daughter to stay upstairs because he's going downstairs after his wife, and apparently the child's now down there too, because she took the child down to the basement. My whole thing is, why the basement? What's going on in the basement? We never really figured that out. It just kept foreshadowing toward the basement. The door would open. It seemed like something was coming out of the basement, and I expected there to be a big reveal once they went down there. But he goes down there with the camera, and all hell breaks loose. This is the most craziest shit you've ever seen. He drops the camera, it's flipped sideways, and she's hopping around like on all fours and like gashing at him with her teeth. What are they, wrestling in all these boxes, and then the floor starts shaking and everything starts vibrating. You can see like dust and particles like bouncing around, and the baby's just walking like back and forth. What was that about? What happened down there? Because the very next scene, it cuts immediately, boom, she's in bed unconscious, he's right there with her and performing some ritual. So apparently, whatever happened, she went unconscious, and he is bright as rain. I thought for sure that he would have died down there. So I had a big problem with that because they didn't explain what happened. That's disappointing to me. Alright, so that's pretty much all I have to say. Please send me your comments, your ideas, your thoughts, and we'll talk about it. Thanks for watching my video, and see you next time.